Hi, good morning. My name is Simbelaja Charles Kiagan. Let me just start this conversation like we do our Mondays on a very high note. I want to ask you one question. Let's go back to KCSE days when you just graduated or got your results for KCSE. I'll ask you one question. What did you really think or aspire to be? I, for one, I wanted to be a journalist, so thank God. But I have friends of mine who wanted to be pilots. But right now, they're totally very far from where they're supposed to be. I'll share that joke after I introduce the guest that we have in the studio this morning. Now, most people after high school struggle to choose a career or profession they can be in. There are those who outrightly know what they want to do and go for it. Now, today, we discuss how best you can choose a career. And in the studio, there's not a strange face. We're joined by James Muya, a human resource specialist, career coach, and LinkedIn expert. James, happy to see you.
Happy to see you again. Thank you very much.
I'll start by asking you the same question because it was a very funny conversation.
Yes.
Let me take you back to when you're in high school. You just graduated.
Yes.
And I remember how your sessions were. You had to go to the University of Nairobi, sit down and select your courses and hopefully wait and see exactly whether you want to qualify for them. What do you want to be when you were young?
I wanted to be a doctor when I was young. just like any other young kid there, little kid there. The traditional courses that our parents knew.
Yeah.
Those are the courses that they passed to us. That is medicine, law, engineering.
Can be a pilot, you're not going to be an engineer.
And we don't blame them because those are the courses that were there when they were in school.
Yes.
But now the dynamics have changed. When they were in school, when our parents were in school, they used to go do those courses and they used to be picked from school even before they graduate and they could get jobs. These days is different. We have engineers who are bankers. You know that? We have doctors who are running NGOs. They are not treating patients.
Yes.
Yeah. The dynamics have changed.
We have lawyers who are politicians. They've never stepped in court.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And we have engineers who are drivers on the road.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, James, I will start like this. A career. Let's define a career first, because then I also want to take that lesson. Let's define a career. What is a career? What is the understanding of a career? I should ask like that.
A career is the long term, is what you want to be in long term. Eh?
Yes.
It's a set of jobs that you will have within a specific period of time that will define your career. For example, if you want to be in finance, you can start as an account assistant and finally become the director of finance. Now your career is finance, but now you started your job as an account assistant or an intern.
Yes.
Then you climb all the way to finance director.
Yes.
And from finance director, some become CEOs, some become company presidents. Yeah. And that's how a career is defined. That's a career path.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
How do you go about, because let's help somebody who's listening to you today, yes. and we do know that those kids have just graduated, they're somewhere in university right now, or just studying for the sake of it, man.
Yes.
They're saying, well, I will end up somewhere, either way.
Yes.
How do you go about defining your career and saying that this is exactly where I want to end up at?
First, you need to accept the results that you got for you in your KCSE. You start from there.
But, is somebody going to fight you and say, well, you're talking to us about a career and you're attaching that to results?
You have to start from there. You have to start from accepting your results.
If you're in Kenya, that is.
Yeah. You have to start from accepting your results. Even if you're out of country, you need to start by accepting your results.
Yeah. What about those motivational speakers who come in and say, well, I started from just a certificate and then I went all the way up?
I will come there. That's why I've said that's why you need to start by accepting your grade, your results, just the way they are.
Yes.
It's very important for both the parent and the child.
Yes.
And now who is going to join the university to pursue her career.
Yes.
Because now, when you accept, you are able to have a right attitude towards life. Because if you have a bad attitude, a bad attitude is like a vehicle without wheels. It can't move. So you'll be stuck there with your bad grade according to you. And your friends who graduated the same high school with, they continue with life. So you need to have the right attitude. Because if you have the wrong attitude, now that's when you see girls getting married at a very young age, 18 years.
Yes.
Men, instead of now going to further education, they started very demeaning jobs out there, and they can be able to do something with their grades. Doesn't matter whether you got your D.
Yes.
You can start all the way from a certificate all the way to PhD level. I have seen it. It's called career acceleration. You can start all the way from a certificate, diploma, bachelor's, PhD, and it would take you, it is not such a long career path as people may think. A certificate takes between 3 months to 1 year. Like now they are at home, the universities are taking in and the colleges are taking in students. By December, you are done with your 3 months. Or 6 months. By January, you go to your diploma. You take 1 year or 2 years depending on the course you are doing. In 3 years, you have finished your diploma. By the time your friends you were high school with, they are finishing the 4-year university degree, you're already now going to your degree program.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just having the positive, light attitude towards life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's a very tough question though. Now I've accepted my results, and then there's this disconnect into what you wanted to be and what you are. And I would like to think that if you knew exactly what you're going to be or when you're going to end up, then you will turn out better. Like you would have a sense of direction as opposed to, let's go with the wave, I'll see exactly where I end up.
Sure.
How do you, in your formative stage of education, you've got your KCSE results, you've got your Class 8 results, and you're sort of thinking that, where do I actually end up? How do you start identifying the right career path for yourself?
Very good question.
Yes.
You start by self-assessment. Self-assessment, you imagine yourself in the next coming 20 years. Which career do you want to have grown up the randa?
Yes.
So you take stock of your skills, your talents, and your intellectual capacity. You don't want now to say that you want to become a doctor and you got a D minus. You know, some courses are regulated by the government. Some, medicine and some engineering courses and law are some of the courses that are regulated that you must have a certain cut-off grade.
Yes.
But then with your D, you can be able to go up the ladder as I have explained. So after you do your self-assessment, at a long term, you visualize yourself in 20 years to come, then you can go to the next step. The next step is now you list the 20 career choices you have ever wanted to be, 20 of them. Then start ticking according to how you have assessed yourself. Which one can you do? Start ticking, start ticking. Now you move on to the next step of looking at your grade. Can your grade allow you to do this course? Mm-hmm. Can your grade allow you to do this course?
Yes.
Then from there, you go now to the next step of looking at the job opportunities that are there in the market, not just in Kenya, but globally. Because there are some courses that are recognized in Kenya, but when you go out there, you need to do an additional course, you need to do, or they are not even recognized. A good example, if you are a nurse in Kenya and you go to America, you just be required to do the exam and you become a qualified nurse in America or in Europe.
Yes.
The same with doctor. But for clinical officer, when you go to US and UK, they are not recognized. So probably you need to think, if you want to work in Kenya, if you want to move out of Kenya one day or to go and work out there, so you need to do a lot of research on the type of career you want to pursue. Do a lot of research and visualize your career a long term, 15, 20 years from today.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So does that mean therefore that there's this important aspect that you might know by yourself on exactly what is in the market, that you need a career coach to help you understand yourself better? You might ask me one question that might change the way that I view life and myself. Is that what you need from your formative age?
career coaching, career guidance needs to start from very early age.
Yes.
Right from the toddler stage.
Yes.
You know, there are some kids that when they encounter any gadget, they start dismantling it up. It's from every section that that gadget was connected, it is dismantled. So you start looking at this kid is very inquisitive. Then you start looking at this kind of this is like an engineer they're making. Then there are those kids that are inquisitive, they are not patient. Then you start modeling those kids toward those careers that that can be able to figure out that they can be able to pursue in life. When you come to high school, career choices start at a very early stages. You start choosing subjects in Form 2 and Form 1. For example, you can find in some girls' schools, as I have done my research.
Yes.
There are some girls' schools that they are encouraged not to pursue science courses. You find like a whole class did not do physics. That means
Yes.
we do not have any engineer in that class.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's very important to start pursuing these career goals from a very early stages, from high school, from being a kid, so that we can start now modeling your career towards towards your capabilities, towards your intellectual capacities. Then from there, now we can be able to say now, this is what we have defined the career path towards what you want to become in the future.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some people tell you that I've gone to school. Yes, I've studied. Yes. But then I feel like my passion and my talent should be exactly what should define my career choice.
Yes.
Are those people lucky, or they should think twice before going in that direction?
Well, there are passion can give you a career. Yes, it can give you a career. Some people can be given a career by the passion. That's fine. But it's not all about passion.
Yes.
It is actually even grabbing the opportunities that are there in the market.
Yes.
For example, we are in technology revolution, and there are also opportunities in the technology world. For example, in the ICT now, people should look more beyond the computer science, beyond the IT. We have got now a very job that are high demand in ICT, like data science, robotics engineering. Now you start grabbing those opportunities so that now you can be able now to have grab the opportunities that are there in the current career world, so that you can be able. It is not competitive.
Yes.
And be able to have a very nice career path.
So now, let's talk to that person who've realized that, well, I need to change my career as well. You know, it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. Passion sometimes gets to a level you say, maybe it's died off. Talent can get to a level you say, well, doctors change their careers and say,
Yes.
How do you begin that change process then? Because some of us might be there watching today in the morning and saying, is it too late to change a career?
And there are so many.
There's so many of us, isn't it?
According to statistics, 60% of graduates,
Wow.
they are not doing what they started in campus.
Wow.
60%.
Yeah.
That's a very huge number.
Yes.
This is because when you were selecting courses, you were pressed by computer in the university, a course that you did not choose.
Isn't it? You got a name in math, you got a name in Swahili.
Yeah. Then you are
a scientist.
Then you are pressed in as a medical doctor.
Yeah.
But now, when you can't start the sight of blood or even the smell of blood, you see. So it's very important now if you want now to change your career from let's say an engineer or then to an administrator, like from a doctor to an administrator.
Yes.
Doctors are now running NGOs as managers. It's good now to look at your transferable skills.
Yes.
Because employers are looking at the employability skills, at emotional intelligence, and these are a set of skills like team building, communication skills, personal relationship, customer relations, stakeholder management. Those are the skills that now will help you to transform into the next career that you want to go. You may require now to go back to class to do some certain certifications that will help you now pursue whatever you want to pursue as a career.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Another question that you're going to make, James, which is really very important, is learning what is in the market. Are there some careers that they look promising on paper, but on the ground, have no, they're not sellable.
There are so many careers that are not sellable as they are being offered in our universities.
Is that where the disconnect begins?
There is a very huge disconnect.
That even what you're going to study in university, you gotta start thinking about it early enough.
There is a very huge disconnect between what employers want and what is being offered in our universities and colleges.
What do employers really want?
Employers, you see, employers today want someone who can add value.
Yes.
To their business.
Yes.
But now what we have are graduates who have grades, but they don't know what to do with them. Because some of these things are not taught in the universities. That's why you find companies now have to retrain as management trainees, have to train graduates as internship,
yes.
Have to train graduates for like 1 year before it gets into the culture and to the business of the company.
Yes.
So we need to do a lot of career guidance and to change the curriculum. I'm happy it has changed to CBC. That's one of the reasons why we have changed, so that we can look at what the job market wants and the talent, then we can be able to match the skills that are there, the jobs that are there, and the expertise that the universities and colleges are going to produce.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you this a direct one, because I want to get that career conversation well done and dusted this morning.
Yeah.
Side hustle, yeah, that supports your main hustle. At what point do you say, my career change now is going to go to my side hustle? And I got this question as well. Your side hustle, must it be in line with your main hustle so that you know how to go about it? And at what point do you say, now I've changed the hustle now, this is my career now?
It's very interesting that millennials nowadays, almost everyone has got a side hustle.
Which is good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very good. and I keep on telling employers when I'm assisting in recruitment.
Yes.
If you are going to deny a millennial job because they have a side hustle, then all of them are having a side hustle. Some have just lied to you.
Yes.
In fact, you should be very worried of a millennial who is not having a side hustle.
Who comes and tells you this is exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, you should be very worried.
Yes.
Either he's not a proactive person, he just is somebody who needs to be pushed around.
Yes.
But somebody who is having a side hustle, that is not to be a worry, because now this person who have a self-drive and can be able to perform. As long as he performs the task that you have given them in the workplace, then there is no problem with them having a side hustle. So, answering to a question,
yes,
does it have to be in line with whatever you are doing? This is why you take stock of the experience you have and your passion. And now, if you want now to move into the business world, or you want to move now up the career ladder, because now if you want to move now into self-employment or entrepreneurship, now you start taking stock of the skills you have. If they can be able to give you more money than what you are earning.
Yes.
If that can happen and you can be able to grow yourself slowly, then you can be able to pursue whatever you are. And if you're an accountant and you want to set up a farm, or if you are a lawyer, you want to set up a law firm, then the skills you have that you are currently using, you can be able to set up your law firm with. But there is another person who wants now to move completely from law to doing business of importing and exporting. Probably he needs to do like an MBA,
yes,
so that he can be able to understand the dynamics of doing business.
Yes.
Yeah. He may require some certain skills and certifications for mentoring from somebody who have pursued the same kind of business.
That's it.
For him to go through to succeed in that business.
And that's if you really want to push this side hustle that you think is really promising on the side, isn't it?
Yes.
Fantastic. Another thing is, when does it become a conflict there for GEMS? Because that is actually, you find it in most of the companies' laws in the country, that your side hustle should not be in direct competition with your employer.
Yes.
Am I running away with my clients if I do A, B, C, D? And how do you differentiate it correctly then?
It has in the market, the career market, and the way you do a business has become very competitive.
Yes.
And competition is good. Nobody should fear competition. So if actually employers should be very happy that they have been able to build a professional who can be able to stand on themselves and then set up a company and employ those people who are jobless.
Yes.
So it already become a conflict of interest if you are spending your time more in your side hustle than where you're employed.
Yes.
Now it becomes ethical issues.
Yes.
So, but if you're able to deliver according to your JD and the job you have been given in your company, and you're still running your side hustle, then there is no problem. But it becomes an issue if now you are not delivering on your deliverables in the company and you're concentrating on side hustle. Then you should resign and concentrate on your side hustle.
On your side hustle, isn't it? All right, let's address then this issue for training in exactly knowing how to choose your career, what you need to learn in choosing your career. Should somebody come to you now and start asking you for this training, what do they need to learn and how much are you going to ask them? How long is it going to take for them to go through that course?
One important thing that the students should be able to know is that there is too much information out there.
Yes.
For example, the COOPS, the body that is mandated to place students in the universities and the colleges, recently they produced a career guidebook that can be able to guide you into subject combination. They can be able to guide you into the cluster subject.
Yes.
It can be able to guide you if you did perform well in according to your peers in high school. Probably you got a D- or an E. It has detailed plan on the courses you can pursue, like certificate in horticulture. We have a very huge gap in the agricultural industry. You have a very huge gap in that sector, and we are moving now to agri-tech.
Yes.
A modern way of doing agriculture.
Yes.
So they can be. It has a well elaborate chapter on the careers that you can pursue if you are not able to. If you did perform well in school, like certificate in irrigation,
yes.
Certificate in business, which now can it goes ahead to tell you the institutions that are offering these courses and where you can get these jobs. That is one way of getting information.
Yes.
Now there are also career coaches like what we do. You can be able to come to us, and after assessing your skills and your strength, now you can be able to advise you on what is best for you in the industry.
Yes.
So the package depends on an individual, on a person-to-person basis, because every person have got his own needs, different needs. So it is not it's not like a definite package that you can tell you is how much we can charge you. They can be able to follow us on an Executive Jobs Hub. They can follow me also on all social media channels. That is James Watare.
Yes.
And I can be able to give them more information.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Another question, James, is the importance of this mentor, especially when you're trying to learn and then follow a certain career path. I've seen a lot of people put emphasis on that. Could you tell me the importance of having a mentor? And who's this mentor that I'm going to really look up to, who's going to give me the direction?
Mentors are very important in
Yes.
life. This is because they have been through the path before. So the mistakes they did, they are going to advise you are not going to do the same mistakes.
Yes.
And that's differentiated between a successful person and one that is not successful.
Yes.
Because now, if you want to pursue a career in law, they are able to tell you, as a lawyer, this is what I expected of you. So if you are not ready for this, please do not take law as a career.
Yes.
So if you want to become a doctor is able to take you to theater. And if you start vomiting when you see the sight of a patient, then that is not your career. So mentors are very important because they are able to work with you.
Yes.
And able to, from the word go, and then they show you the real job.
Yes.
Not theoretically, but now practically,
Yes.
on what the career entails. Now, from there now you can be able to make a decision whether you are going to pursue this or not. If you decide you are going to pursue this, now then where you get to the nitty-gritties on the first step, what do you need to do?
Yes.
You need to go to school, which course do you need to take? From there, where do you get jobs? From there, which steps do you go? Do you need certifications? Like if you want to do finance, you may need certification of like CPA, ACCA, secretarial courses for you to be able to become an expert in that field.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So how do I pick my mentor? What qualities am I looking for, James?
You look for a mentor which you are compatible. First, you look at the career after you're assessing yourself.
Yes.
And you know this is the career you want to pursue. Now look for mentors that you're compatible.
I see.
People who can be able to share information. People who can, you can even call them for a coffee and they come up and you tell them you have an issue to want to discuss and they can be able to walk you through. Somebody who is who have the same set of values that you have.
Yes.
Somebody whom you can line. Somebody whom you can ask any question and you can be able to answer. But also, one of the issues with the job seekers and students, they go to mentors to ask for jobs instead of asking the right questions. The right questions are, how did you achieve this?
Yes.
How did you move from point A to point B?
Yes.
Then from there, you yourself, you can be able to find out, where can I get these jobs? Asking the right question is very important.
Pretty much. Lastly, as we clear this conversation, James, this morning, how much of a disconnect do you think is in the Kenyan market on this career subject that we're talking about this morning? When you talk to majority of the people, do we have defined career paths in the country, and that will give us a picture of the economy at large, as opposed to on exactly where we are?
Well, for a very long time, students graduate and they don't have a definite career path.
Yes.
That has been a very huge disconnect, and that's why you have so many frustrated people here. People are going for jobs that they don't like, but they have to earn a living. They need to pay rent. They need to pay their bills.
Yes.
So you find that somebody just for a job because it is pays the bill, not because it is passion. Not because that he is motivated to wake up in the morning and go and do the job. So now this issue is being solved by the current curriculum, the CBC, such that you're able, your strength and your talents are able to be told very early, such that by the time you are going to the job market,
yes, you
have passion for what you are doing, and you'll be able to give your best. You'll be able to be productive.
Yes.
Otherwise, the current people who are working in the market industry, as you speak, most of them do not like the job they are doing.
And you said 60%, isn't it?
Yes.
That's a huge number.
Huge number.
Now then, James, thank you very much for coming by, man. Always quite enlightening speaking to you.
I appreciate.
Pretty much, you want to take him back to the time that he came in the studio, you can do that at Metropole TV across all your social media platforms. At Kia Gesimba. Let's take a short break. Once we come back, more business this Business Monday.